Because if you don't get uncomfortable today, I can't make you super comfortable in a year or two from now. That uncomfortability, look at it as like working out. It's going to hurt, it's going to be painful, but if you get through it, your comfort level for the rest of your life will be astronomical. Okay, guys, I'm living proof. Watch this if you haven't got your first wholesale deal yet. My name is Rick Ginn, and I want to talk to those of you out there that are struggling to get your first deal and you feel a bit lost. I'm going to walk you through what's stopping you, and I'm going to give you specific actions so you can move forward to get your first deal. But before I get into it, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best information on wholesaling to date right here. Let's get into it. So you haven't got your first wholesale deal and you're probably a little irked at this point. Like, I get it. And honestly, I've been there when I started. My first 90 days was such a rocky road. And honestly, even though it was 20 years ago, it feels like it was literally yesterday. And so what I'm going to do is walk you through some of the struggles that I went through and show you how to get through those roadblocks. At the end, I'm going to give you specific actions you need to take in the next 30 days to lock down that first deal. A big part of this is you're doing a new venture. I get it. It's completely different. Most of you guys are used to a traditional 9-to-5 job and you decided to take this leap. Maybe you saw something about wholesaling and you wanted to make the change so you could get your financial freedom and get freedom of your time. You have a strong why on why you want to do it. That is your belief, okay? Your belief is held together by your conviction. And your conviction's where some of you guys are waffling and you're struggling with why you're getting your first deal. Your conviction is saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my first wholesale deal. Let me give you an example. I have a lot of people reach out to me and say, hey, Rick, how many phone calls do I have to make before I get a deal from a motivated seller? And the problem with it is that is leaning towards a belief, a directive, as opposed to a conviction. A conviction question is, I will call as many people as humanly possible to get my first wholesale deal. Whereas the other person's looking for an out, they're saying, well, if I don't get a deal on my first 500 calls, I quit. Guys, get your conviction and get it dialed in. If you are truly committed to this business, do what it takes. Stop looking for the ceiling of when you're going to get a deal. Because the truth of the matter is, no coach, no guru, Zach, myself cannot tell you what number it's going to take to get the deal done. In fact, there's so many variables involved that you have to control the one variable, which is your conviction. So if you have to make 10,000 phone calls and on the 10,001, that deal's there. If you stopped at the 10,000, you're done in this business. So I want you to understand you have to lock down that conviction. Burn the bridges, do whatever you got to do. Let's get a deal. You have to focus on this. The next step is understanding you are new at this. Don't think you're going to be an expert overnight. The attractive part about wholesaling is you don't need to know everything. I don't want you to wait and study for 90 days to start this business. As a matter of fact, I want you to take action right now, because as you take action and you engage and you study the information at freewholesaling.com, that's how you're truly going to learn this business. The truth is, I've never met a wholesaler that just hit it out of the park in day one. Honestly, if they told you that, they're most likely going to be lying to you. What you've got to do is get 1% better each day and keep building it like a muscle, okay? You have no experience in it. I get it. You feel like your back's up against the wall. We all started in the same place. You've just got to concentrate on getting 1% better each and every day. And honestly, keep in mind, you're going from 0 and you're trying to get to 100 miles an hour. It's like pushing a boulder uphill. You have to take constant and consistent action to get there. And if you don't hold your conviction together and understand you're getting better 1% each day, listen, think about this. In 365 days, you'll be 365% better, 3 times better than what you are right now. Are you willing to put in the work to get it? So I get it, man. It's frustrating when you don't hit your timeline goals and deals. But honestly, if you're in wholesaling for a long-term journey, some people get it in 2 weeks, some people get it in 30 days, some people 6 months, some people 6 years. Now, 6 years is extreme and nobody should wait that long to do it. But honestly, in 90 to 180 days, you've got to get your first deal done. We all learn at different paces. Guys, I'm a self-diagnosed ADHD. I was terrible in school. But once I figured out wholesaling and I followed a platform, I made it work. Why? Because I believed in it. I had the conviction and I decided to get 1% better each and every day. So the really cool thing is the process has already been created for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. In fact, you're going to do the opposite. If you do exactly the instructions set forth in front of you, I can't guarantee exactly when to get your deal, but I promise you this, you will get a deal. And if your conviction's there and you believe in yourself, this is going to work. So if you go over to freewholesaling.com, the process is laid out there. Guys, we've put 25 years on the line. I am not going to steer you wrong. Honestly, this has changed the trajectory of my family's lives. All my business partners, I'm associated with it. Obviously, my son, my daughter, my wife. This stuff is life-changing. But you've got to believe in the process. I have 25 years documented. Heck, I taught Zach how to do this when he was 17 years old in high school. You are no different. This is not a matter how smart you are. It's a matter of how well you're going to follow the process. If you're struggling, you're going outside the bounds, go over to freewholesaling.com. And if you really want step-by-step on how to get a deal in the next 30 days, check out our 30-day wholesaling program. We walk you from day 1 to day 30. If you follow the instructions exactly, it's just a matter of when you're going to get your first deal. Now, here's the most important part. Is you can't take these instructions and pick and choose which ones they're going to fit your personality. Honestly, it doesn't work that way. And that's what a lot of you are struggling and watching this video is, well, I don't want to cold call, or Zach told me to cold call 200 people. I'm only calling 50. If you do not follow the exact instructions, the process won't work. And you are going to try to reinvent the wheel, and it's going to frustrate you, and you're going to wind up quitting. The reality is, if you stick to the tried and proven process of 25 years experience, there's no way you can't get a deal. The question is just, how soon will you get it? It's so important you just follow the process and you trust it. Here's the problem is, it's brutally uncomfortable. But let me ask you this. The reason you want to get brutally uncomfortable is because you are so uncomfortable in your current situation of your financial situation that you chose wholesaling to make a major change in your life. And I commend you for it. But now here's the tough part, okay? This is me telling you truth, no filters, no coaching fees, nothing. Is you're going to have to get uncomfortable and dive into this process and trust it. If you want to alter any part of our processes, it's not going to work. Wholesaling is a systematic process, and anyone who follows it on a consistent basis wins. Those that randomly decide to choose when to implement it, how to implement it, and change all the numbers, especially on the marketing and sales side, they never wind up getting a good deal, or it's so random, it's frustrating to run as a business. Guys, the most important thing you can do is get uncomfortable today, because if you don't get uncomfortable today, I can't make you super comfortable in a year or two from now. That uncomfortability, look at it as like working out. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. But if you get through it, your comfort level for the rest of your life will be astronomical. Okay? Guys, I'm living proof. I was at a manager trainee level. I did it 12 years. I hated it. And then I decided to make a change. I got really uncomfortable with wholesaling. And by taking that journey and following the process, I was able to dig out of my hole and truly get freedom of my life, both physically and financially, and most importantly, my time. And that's what I want to give to you. So guys, stop trying to alter the process. Go over to freewholesaling.com. If you're challenged, if you're lost, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start the 30-day challenge. Start from day 1, and you follow those instructions to a T. If you want to take this to the next level, what I want you to do is I want you to document your sales and marketing process. All I want you to do is track the activity every day. Just write it down in a journal. How many customers did you call today? How many motivated sellers did you reach out? How much marketing did you did? Honestly, in 30 days, if you can look at that booklet and you completely fill it up and you hit all your objectives, it's hard not to make progress towards getting a wholesale deal. Now, it might be just outside of 30 days, but once you build this momentum up, the deals start to flow. Remember, you're going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. It takes a lot to push that boulder up the hill. And I'm here to tell you, this is what most coaches won't tell you. It's going to require work on your side. The most important thing I can leave you with you on the mindset is you have to have massive amounts of volume to get a deal, especially if you don't have anything going on. The only way to rectify this is increase your volume level, increase the amount of cold calls, increase the amount of texts, increase the amount of driving for dollars, whatever it is. The more quantity you have will help you make up for your lack of experience. Trust me on this. The only way to compensate in the beginning is by overdoing your amount of volume, because eventually you'll get somebody who wants to work with you and you will learn through the process. The really cool thing is this journey is going to make you an amazing wholesaler, but you've got to go through it. If you want to skip the journey, wholesaling is not for you. It's just the truth. The reality is whoever increases their volume activity to the highest level on an extremely consistent basis, this is with buyers and sellers, they will ultimately get the most wholesale deals, and they'll definitely lock deals down within the next 30 days. So my question to you is, are you going to get on the consistency train, and are you going to ramp up your volume? Because that's what it truly takes. Listen, I'm sorry if this video is kind of hitting you in the face, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to tell you the truth. I am not going to sugarcoat this. Increase your volume and get massively consistent. And if you do that over the next 30 days, you implement this discipline, it will become a habit, and getting deals on a regular basis will become systematic. You won't even struggle doing it. But honestly, after you get your first deal or two, I want you to put your foot on the gas pedal even further. What I'm going to do is break down some basic tips to help you increase that volume to get your first deal. Once again, if you haven't got a deal yet, go over to freewholesaling.com, go through the entire training, but I'd like you to specifically focus on the 30-day challenge. It's day 1 through 30. We had over 1,000 people have success with it. You are no different. You just have to take massive action, increase that volume, and become extremely consistent. Let's talk about action plans that you can take to crush that volume and get it way up. So the first thing I want you to do is obviously driving for dollars. The best way you can do is get in your car, go out, and just fill up a notepad. You can use DMZAC. You can use the techno version of filling up for driving for leads, and it'll help you organize all your driving for dollars leads. And then take the pictures, get these addresses, and then basically you're going to take that information, you'll skip trace it, and you're going to cold call these people, or you can SMS them. Either way, I would use this method because it's the fastest way to get a deal within 30 days. You need to set a goal. I'm not here to tell you the goal, but like honestly, anything less than 400 is failure. Go get 400 motivated properties, skip trace them, and connect with those homeowners in whatever marketing medium you choose, and go get a deal. 400, you got to find a deal in there. Like we average one deal about every 240, 250 driving for dollars leads. So I want you to do double that, like 400, do 500. I don't care. You need volume. If you're running around getting 20 or 30 addresses, that's not going to cut it, especially if you got your first wholesale deal. After that, I want you to run over and get your government list. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you want more details, go over to freewholesaling.com. This is basically going to be your pre-foreclosures, your eviction lists, your probates, your code violations, your water shutoffs. Guys, these are great signs of motivated sellers. Go get every list you can. And remember, to get these lists, you're going to get resistance. To overcome resistance, you got to kill it with persistence, okay? You've got to fill these leads up. Honestly, these lists are free. You just have to skip trace them. And these lists usually have the highest motivation level, will get you closest to getting a deal in the next 30 days. After that, I want you to go chase down every title company you work with in your wholesaling business and ask them, hey, do you know of anybody looking to sell a property? Also, you can find cash buyers from them. You guys are overlooking free stuff that's sitting right in front of your face. I've gotten some of my best deals from title companies. You should too. While you're on it, property management companies, the market's changing. A lot of properties are sitting vacant. Values are dropping. Homeowners, landlords are deciding, hey, I probably need to sell. Is a perfect opportunity for you to strike with these property management companies. Go in with an attitude to help them and offer them a service. Tell them you can take a look at the property and get them an offer, and you get it over to the owner, and then you're happy to pay them a commission, okay? Most property managements are tied to a real estate broker. They want in on the action. Offer it. If you don't offer that, they're not going to open up the doors to you guys. Property managers are going to be huge in the next 12 to 18 months. You definitely want to take advantage of that. Also, I want you to look up your local REIA meetings. That stands for, that's REIA, your Real Estate Investors Associations. I want you to attend these meetings. Number one, it's a great networking event. There's an amazing amount of cash buyers. There's a lot of new wholesalers just like you trying to figure out how to put things together. Maybe you can form some partnerships. You can do some JVs. At worst, you're going to meet some new friends of like-minded attitudes. And this is the best way for you to keep the pulse on your local market, There'll be realtors there. There'll be mortgage brokers there. There'll be contractors there. I love these meetings. And honestly, you need to attend as many as possible. It's a very small fee. Go out, network. It is huge. The next one I want you to do is attack the FSBO'S. You want to get volume, go after the FSBO'S. I know it's a low percentage, but it's a numbers game. Go out and get 500 to 1,000 FSBO'S. How do you do that? Go over to Zillow, go to FSBO.com, any of these places. The beauty is the phone number's all built into them. These people want to sell their properties. You just got to find somebody with high motivation. Remember, locate the motivation first so you don't waste your time with retail sellers. Last but not least, to increase the volume, go network with realtors. It's that simple. Realtors control 95% of the market. What you want to do is find the realtor that finds a property that is in disrepair. It's ugly. I don't know how I'm going to sell this. Hey, call me, the wholesaler. I'll give you an offer, and I'm happy to pay your full commission. And if it works out well, maybe the end buyer will relist it with you once they finish rehabbing it. These are win-win opportunities. Every one of these techniques I just shared with you, I think 4 or 5, this should triple, if not quadruple, your current volume. Guys, you need volume. You need consistency. I believe in you, but you need to go out and put in the work. You have to be accountable to yourself. You have to live with yourself 24/7. I want it to come true for you to be a successful wholesaler. So if you haven't got a deal, that's fine. Let's reset the framework. Go over to freewholesaling.com, briefly study, take a couple hours, and then start the 30-day action plan. Go into it and take my tips for increasing your volume and go out there and get a deal. Guys, you're not the first one to struggle and you won't be the last one, but I want you to cut through the noise and get laser focused on ramping up your volume and become a consistent wholesaler with your seller and buyers. Guys, let me know in the videos if you believe in what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, this is the truth, man. I am hitting you with the full-on truth. If you're struggling to get a deal, you're probably missing one of these things. Fill in that void. Go get it. I know you can do it. Let's go out there and get deals. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.